Before we get going, for the new viewers, my name is Brando, founder of Brandlux Media. We are an e-commerce growth agency specialized in paid advertising, content creation, email marketing, and conversion rate optimization. If you're looking for a growth partner and you want a free audit, feel free to book a call down below. Now let's get going. How's it going? This is Brando from Brandlux Media, and in this video, it's going to be a very exciting one because I'm going to bring you through the three major problems that is stopping brand owners from scaling to 7 or 8 figures. Okay, I'm gonna give you the experience that I've had, the knowledge that I've gained after working with 60 plus brands over the last several years. Now, I'm also gonna just show you the proof. I'm gonna show you 2 or 3 ad accounts that were not ad accounts, just complete brands that we're managing that are scaling up to $1 million a month. So you see what is possible, and that you also know, you actually know that I'm qualified to speak about what I'm about to speak. And I'm gonna talk about the 3 major problems. After that, I'm going to also discuss the 5 steps that I would take if I had to start an e-commerce brand from scratch and what I would focus on step by step, because the problem is that people focus on multiple things in the wrong sequence and then they end up not actually growing their business and their brand. So I'm going to talk about these things. Make sure to stick until the end, and with no further ado, let's get right into it. Great, so as usual, before I get started and get going with the video, I just want to show you some proof. These are just 2 or 3 accounts that we're managing. This client is doing crossed over $1 million in a 30-day let's call it time frame, between the 21st and 20th of last year, 2023, November, December. They crossed over $1 million. Let me just refresh so you know this is real. And then another couple of accounts doing multiple 6 figures. I'm going to show you in just a second, right? So this is real, whatever, let it refresh. And this is another account. Let's just do last 30 days. They've crossed over $400,000. This is actually a relatively new client we've onboarded recently, but these are also the types of clients that we're working with. And here's a slightly smaller client, last 30 days, 160,000. Let's see how much they were doing in December. I think they did decent, like $300,000. Yeah, like $300,000 almost in a single month. Either way, this is the proof. I know that there's a lot of BS, so these are just a couple clients that we've worked with. So you actually know that I'm qualified to speak about what I'm going to speak about in this video. Great, so now that we got the proof out of the way, let's go into our forms here and discuss what stops brand owners from scaling to 7 or 8 figures in sales. Okay, it's going to be 3 problems. And I've literally seen so much shit. Businesses grow, businesses fail, businesses have fulfillment problems, marketing problems, infrastructure problems, payment processor problems. Like, I've seen the entire thing from A to Z after working with 60 brands over the last years, multiple years, okay? And this is what I've noticed. The first problem is giving too much importance on marketing before giving importance on the product. And essentially the business never becomes profitable, right? So you can be the best marketing genius in the world, right? But if you focus and put all of your marketing efforts in a product that has no product market fit, there's literally no demand for that product. It's a shitty product, maybe, right? Maybe doesn't have the perceived value, right? There's just no product market fit. It actually does not make sense to spend all of your time going all in on this product and focus on the marketing. So this is one of the first problems that I've noticed. People get really emotionally attached to the product and they just don't move on, and they spend way more than what they should spend on, right? And this is the first thing that I've noticed. The second problem, right, is giving very little importance on post-purchase activities like fulfillment and customer support. Once the marketing is figured out, and what happens here? The business breaks. We've actually had this happen multiple times. It probably happened over a dozen times at this point, where we figure out the marketing, but then we always tell the client, make sure that your fulfillment is regulated, is on point, you have customer support. We scale, right? After we told them that, we scale, and then we have to descale, and they refund a bunch of customers, and they have payment processor issues, because the problem is that if you don't provide value to your customer, if you don't have customer support, if you receive chargebacks and refunds, what's going to happen? PayPal is gonna hold like 20-40% of your payments, of your orders, right? Not your orders, so your payments. Same thing is going to happen with Stripe. Same thing is going to happen with Shopify. So imagine if all 3 giants are going to, essentially block over 50% of your funds in your business. How are you going to be able to operate, right? So this is problem number 2, right? You want to make sure that before you scale aggressively, you have the right infrastructure in place to fulfill your orders. so that your customers get your order on time. And then, and this is really important, customer support. Part of the reason why customers and consumers decide to purchase from you is because they are going to receive a level of support from you. They're going to get more value from you, or else they would probably go to AliExpress or like China, or like just buy products from there directly. The only difference is that they don't provide, there's no perceived value there. There's no brand. There's no community building. There's no support, right? So this is part of building a brand. You need support. If you receive complaints, then that's when the chargebacks happen. It's literally setting the right expectations and handling communications between the brand and the customer. So this is problem number 2. And the business breaks, right? Problem number 3, and this is the last one, is giving very little importance on optimizing product development, launching new products, building recurring models, subscription recurring models, community building, and overall just increasing the lifetime value of a customer. This is probably like the last step, the last problem, which is why it's problem number 3, right? If you don't have problem 1 or 2, you can probably get to like 7 figures, to be honest with you. But like problem number 3 is where you cannot probably scale past multiple like 8, 9, 10, 15, 20, $30 million a year, right, in sales. This is the skill that I'm talking about, is when you don't focus on optimizing your LTV. Because what's going to happen as you spend more is that your advertising costs are going to increase, right? Your competition is going to increase, right? And it's just going to get very expensive. And the only way a business can actually not survive, but like really do well and keep really profiting, is if they optimize lifetime value. Just look at companies like Salesforce. I know they're not an e-commerce company, right? But Salesforce is the exact representation and example of a company that optimized for LTV so much that they're willing to spend hundreds, for sure, even maybe thousands of dollars to acquire each customer, even if they're on a free trial, because they know that eventually the average customer sticks with them for 3.5 years, 5 years, whatever the number may be, and spend $100, $200, $300, $500 a month, right? That is the power of LTV. And the thing to understand is that the companies that win are the companies that are able to spend more to acquire a customer. If you have the same product or two very similar products, and company A is willing to spend $50 to acquire a customer, and company B is willing to spend $80 to acquire a customer, this company is going to win because they're able to acquire more customers with an $80 cost per acquisition instead of a $50 acquisition cost, right? You will spend more and still be profitable because your backend system is set up in the right way. And a lot of companies, they just don't understand that like recurring models, first of all, it increases and boosts the enterprise value. If you want to sell your business and you have a recurring model to your business, this is so like it's so fundamental, and it, you know, it really increases the perceived value, and not only perceived value, the actual value of a business if you want to sell it in the future, in the near future. Same thing with community building. Why are all of these Shopify like brands, also like a great brand, Boom by Cindy Joseph, they're doing 20, 30, 40 million dollars a year. I'm not sure if it's 40, but like 20, 30 million dollars. One reason why they win, it's like a skincare company for 50, 60, 7-year-olds. The reason why they win is because they're building such an important and significant idea of community. They're building a community, and so they're building this community, which means that if you have your own pot of customers or subscribers or whatever it is, you don't have to you can spend more on advertising, because these pools of community, these community pools, are very profitable for you. You can offer new products, you can offer new subscriptions, you can upsell them, cross-sell them. They're gonna stick with you because they are in your own community, which you 100% own, right? This is also a very important thing. And also product development. Like there's things like, you know, that there's product market fit, right? But there's also product saturation, right? Where there's a bunch of competitors that come along and do your same exact thing, right? So product development and improving your product, improving perceived value, improving packaging, right? Improving the features perhaps of your product still needs to be part of the entire process. Now this is problem 3, but more like stage 3, right? Chances are if you're watching this video, you're maybe dealing with problem 1 and you know, not dealing, but you could be dealing with problem 1 or problem 2. But problem 3, like, I always advise my clients to start building communities, even if they're not doing, you know, $7 million a year. They're maybe doing below 500,000 a month, whatever, a year. Still build a community, because you're gonna have to do it either way eventually. These are the 3 problems. Let's talk about based on, once again, after working with 60 brands, I've seen a lot of shit and throughout my journey. And so these are the 5 procedures and steps that I would take to get to multiple 7 figures, step by step. First of all, step 1, find product market fit. As I told you before, if there's no product market fit, it doesn't make sense to do anything else, in my opinion. Step 2, go all in on marketing, ads, creatives, funnels. Okay, go all in on that. Don't do the opposite, right? Don't go all in on marketing before you find the product market fit. Okay, do this. Step 3, optimize your backend fulfillment and customer support so that you can actually scale eventually. Step 4, go back to scaling aggressively once you did step 3. The one thing that I need to note here is that it actually does not make sense to do 2, 3, and 4 if it's going to take you 7 months to figure out step 2 and 4. Step 2, 3, and 4. If it takes 7 months to figure out step 3, meaning that it takes you 7, 8, 12 months to figure out fulfillment and customer support, then it's like, what are you doing, right? It should take 1 or 2 months maximum. It should be a very fast process, because one thing that you don't want to do is stop your momentum. If you're scaling and you're profitable, the last thing you want to do is like completely first don't shut the ads off, but like even maintaining like a level where you know that you can spend more and scale. It's not really healthy for the business. So you want to make sure that it's a fast process and you can do it in 1 or 2 months maximum, and then you can go back and scaling aggressively. And step 5, as I mentioned above, focus on LTV, optimizing LTV, recurring models, community building, new products, product development, and all that stuff. And as I say here, the businesses that win are the businesses that are able to spend the most to acquire each customer and still be extremely profitable. So I know that this, I touched a couple of points here. It wasn't too much of a long video. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you're dealing with problem 1, 2, or 3, if you're dealing with other problems. Also, I have a community of people, Ecom Premium. You can subscribe. It's $50 a month, literally, and I give you access to all of my frameworks, my time, my team's time, all of the resources, strategies. If you need help and you want to pay $50 for essentially a mentor or to have the right guidance, you can just sign up. I left the link right below. But other than that, let me know if you have any questions on the YouTube channel, and I will be able to get back to you pretty fast. All right, with no further ado, I'm done, and see you in the next video. Bye. On a further note, feel free to book your strategy session with our team by clicking the button down below. In this session, we will audit your brand, come up with a custom plan of action, and then we'll explore the opportunity of potentially working together, assuming it's a perfect fit. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. It means a lot, and hopefully see you on the other side.